What's going on, guys? Back with a solo pod here today, and I asked ChatGPT the toughest psychological question for men in their 20s, and I got a great question. The question is, what impact do you think modern culture and technology have on the mental health of men in their 20s? And maybe ChatGPT, my ChatGPT knows me specifically, and that's why they're asking me this thing, because they know what I struggle with. Um, I'm not saying I struggle with mental health, I guess, because first off, I am very thankful for particularly my relationships with my family and friends, but also like what I do in life. I'm very happy with, and I'm proud of myself and like who I am. So I'm not saying I like really struggle with mental health, like long term, but definitely short term. I do struggle with it, and everyone does to a point. That's why I think it's gonna be a great thing to talk about because it affects us all differently, but it's the same root causes generally. The same things are pushing us to feel like we're not enough, and that feeling of not being enough is the same, but a little bit different for everyone. So that's why I want to talk about it. So I'm hoping to, not only let people know that they're not alone in this, but also to learn something myself. Because generally, when I'm talking about something, I learn more about it. I learn what I really think about it. That always happens when I podcast. And that's why I need this podcast, why I need to keep doing it, because, the benefits far outweigh the price. So, what impact do you think modern culture and technology have on the mental health of men in their 20s? I'm going to kind of split this up from modern culture and technology. And basically, by modern culture, I kind of mean like your workplace, when you go to your friend's house and you're talking to their parents, maybe when the people at church, what you talk about, that culture. Obviously, like all of those places are different too, but culture in general. And when you're at the grocery store, like what is the feeling? What is the culture? What is the culture when you go into Boston and you're surrounded by a bunch of people? What's going on there? What are these people thinking? How are these people feeling? And then obviously technology is kind of basically just social media, is what I'm thinking. So we'll start with modern culture. Modern culture, I think, pushes everyone to be special. And the truth is, not everyone can be special. But also, not everyone needs to be special. What people most want in life, I think, is just to be happy. Is generally what most people think they want in life. I'm not going to say that's what they really want because I don't know. Most people think they just want to be happy. And, I know most people think that they're going to be happy if they become successful, if they're special in some way. But realistically, there are a ton of very happy men that work a solid job. They go home, they see their kids, they have a great relationship with their wife, and they're happy. And they don't feel the need to be special. So, if you think that being special is going to make you happy, or being rich is going to make you happy, being successful in any way is going to make you happy, it probably isn't. Probably isn't. It's mostly the relationships that you build and work on and earn, and ones you don't earn. Those are what really make you happy, I think. So if you do want to be happy, focus on relationships quite a bit. But modern culture still pushes us to be special, and it's just not realistic for most people. If you have that, that's fine, I guess. I kind of have that where I feel like I need to be special, and I don't. I know it's not healthy. I know it's not a healthy motivation, but it is a potent motivation. So hopefully, I'm hoping it pushes me to really You know, at least if I'm going to feel the pain of not feeling like enough, I would hope that that at least pushes me and actually makes me accomplish that, you know? Um, Modern culture pushes us to work harder than our grandparents, but also to live luxuriously, always have fun, always go on vacations. And it kind of spreads us too thin. Like, I think, um, you know, specifically talking about success here, modern culture really pushes us as like men in our 20s. We are told by older people generally, like, oh, your generation's so lazy, you guys need to work harder. So then we feel the need to work. But then you also see these older people and they're like, dude, you just have to live life. You just have to enjoy life. When you're older, your kids aren't going to remember how many hours you worked. They're going to remember the time you spent with them. They're going to remember the hours you spent with them making memories. So obviously, like, both of those matter. And actually, I was thinking of making this video on work-life balance, but I haven't really learned that yet. I think I kind of have an idea of what I think on work-life balance, but it kind of has to do, maybe it even contributes to what I'm saying here, where I do understand there's a time for violence, and I do understand there's a time for peace, and I don't really know how to conjoin those and make it actually beneficial. So, yeah, that does happen a lot. And especially, kind of fast forwarding here, but with social media, that really, pushes that have fun lifestyle as well, and go on vacations and spend money and stuff, live luxuriously. Modern culture tells us that we are behind. And, what does that even mean? I don't know. What does that mean when someone tells you, when you tell yourself that you're behind on something, or in general? I guess if you're gonna say that you're behind on something, make it specific. Because if you think you're behind in general, that's just, you're fighting a ghost. There's nothing to fight there. Get specific, I'd say, is a good thing. Whether you're identifying the issue or identifying what you think you need to do, which generally you know what you need to do, and you can just do it. Modern culture tells us that we are required to care for and about every single other group than, our own group. And that's mainly just telling us, like, you as a man are in a privileged position. You automatically have a great life, and you should be happy where you are, and that we are responsible for, making other groups happy. And I don't, this is a tough one too. I don't know if this is a negative thing. Modern culture definitely pushes it. Part of it is definitely negative. Part of it is, in my opinion, definitely positive as well, though. If you are not happy with yourself, go help other people, and you will be happier, at least. Because that's what really people mean when they say they want to be happy, is they want to be happier. But I think where this breaks down is saying every single other group. Like, it's not about groups. It's more about just other people in general you should be caring for. And I just talked with Charity Kearney, and she had a great philosophy on this, where you need to sort of put on your mask when you're in an airplane, and, you put on your mask before you help the person next to you put on theirs. And it's not about being selfish and prioritizing yourself over others, but it's realizing that, if you don't give yourself the care that you need, a lot of the times you're not even going to be able to help others. And, that's a good definition of masculinity. It's productive generosity. So you need to be generous, yes, but you need to be productive as well. If you're generous with other people's money, you're not really generous. And if you're productive but you're not generous, you're selfish. So there's a mix. There is a mix. But you do need to prioritize. I don't know if prioritize is the right word. You need to put on your mask. You need to put on your mask. If you're not happy, help other people. If you don't think you can help other people, you need to take a break from whatever you're doing or everything you're doing and just really, really get down to the root of the issue. Figure out, take the steps every single day to make your life better. Be the type of person you want to be. Kind of fake it till you make it mentality. Like, if you want to be the type of person that is in shape, you go to the gym every day. Even if you're not in shape, you go to the gym every day, and eventually you will be that person that you are trying to be like. You'll be that type of person. You'll be fit. But that goes for everything. You know what steps you need to take. Moving on to technology, how technology and social media affects the mental health of men in their 20s. Obviously, what immediately comes to mind for me is like the Andrew Tate model sort of thing, where everything on social media basically just tells you that you're not rich enough, you're not strong enough, you're not kind enough, you're not, I had other stuff, happy enough, and you're not good enough. That's basically all that social media is telling you. Obviously, there's the positive part where, you're able to check in on people and talk and socialize to a point. It's not real socializing, but it can definitely be positive if you use it the right way. But again, the costs far outweigh the positives. Where, the positive part of social media is probably like 5% of it. Other than that, it's just comparing yourself to other people. And I know a lot of this stuff will attribute to women as well. And, men and women, literally all ages on social media. But obviously, I wrote down a good thing about technology and social media is it is literally allowing random 15-year-old people to become millionaires. I think that is a just incredible thing. But even with that specific thing becomes a negative thing where you see the 15-year-old that's a millionaire and you're like, dude, I'm 21 and I am not even close to that. How is this fair? I must be horrible. But you're you're not a failure, you're just early. Technology will always one-up you. Social media will always one-up you. You just had a great vacation. I'm actually, this is a good example. I am leaving for Austin, Texas a week from yesterday. And I'm going for 4 or 5 days. But either way, I'm going to go there. I'm sure I'm going to take pictures of stuff and post them. I mean, I already know I'm going to. But anyone from the other side looking at that is like, wow, he must be having so much fun all the time. All I ever see Joey do is, be on a lake and he's going to Austin right now. And, he's having fun doing a podcast with this person today. But they don't really realize, that's 3% of my life is the fun stuff. But that's all you see. And this is obviously something everyone knows. Social media is a lie. Yes, I'm going to Austin. I'm sure I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to have an awesome time. but it'll always one up you. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to have so much fun. When I come home, I'm going to see someone in Europe. I'm going to see them in Italy with their family and with their good friends. And look, these people are going for a full week or 2 weeks. And look, they're going on this wicked fun excursion. And it's just like, come on, man. You just went on a trip to Austin, Texas, and you're not happy about it? You're not satisfied with that? That's how it is. That's what it does. What is the cure? What's the cure? I wrote down a bunch of different things. Hopefully going to expand on them. Define priorities. I think that's a very important one. You know, especially when it comes to like social media, you need to define your priorities. If you want to achieve something, if it is, honestly, I'm not even going to go into the motivations. Whether it's a healthy or unhealthy motivation, if you want to accomplish something, like I said, you know what steps you have to take. If you haven't started, you know what the first step is. If you don't, do some research, you can find it out. I promise you, you can find it out. Define priorities. You know, if you want to learn, sometimes you just got to put down the Xbox controller and pick up a book. Sometimes you got to, stop playing video games and go to the gym. If I want to be jacked, I know what I need to do. I know that I need to go to the gym. If I don't go to the gym, it's not going to happen. It doesn't matter what my motivation is. That's just how it works. And that's priorities. Stick to your priorities. Recognize that anything in life requires a learning/lonely period. Not all things require a lonely period. But if you're trying to get good at anything in life, it's going to require a learning period. That is pretty straightforward, I guess. Recognize that everyone is special and no one is special. Yeah, I agree with that. Whoever wrote this is cooking. Yes. Everyone is special. Everyone deserves to be loved. Doesn't mean that everything that someone does deserves to be loved and deserves to be accepted and praised. But every human being deserves the love. Like they are special. Because they are. But also no one's special. We're all the same. We all are living to be happy. We all want to be happy. We think we do. Recognize now isn't forever. This is a good thing and a bad thing, I guess, because when you're in good times, recognizing, actually, you know what? I'm going to twist this. I'm going to make this both positive. In a good time, you recognize that now isn't forever, so you better take advantage of it, and you better appreciate it. But in the bad times, realizing that now isn't forever, and that the pain will go away. The pain will go away if you're willing to fix it. And sometimes there's nothing you can do. Something goes wrong in your life. Is there something you can do about it? Yes. Great. Be happy about that. Don't worry. Dang it, I messed it up. Something bad in your life happens. Can you fix it? Yes. Okay, don't worry. Something bad in your life happens. Can you fix it? No. Okay, don't worry. If there's nothing you can do, don't stress about it. If there is something that you can do, don't worry. Don't stress about it. There's something you can do to fix it, and fix it. So, yes, good. I'm actually proud of myself for twisting that. Recognize that now isn't forever. Twisting that to become a positive thing on both sides, whether it's good times or bad times. This is something that I'm improving on too. I'm trying to be a more positive person in general. And just, it's not easy, but then I had to do something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, actually, I guess I am kind of working on it. you know? Strive to become, I mistyped this. Strive to become the type of person you'd like to be while recognizing you'll never be perfect. So that's the thing I was talking about before. Let's say I want to be the type of person that looks like Chris Bumstead, you know? He's jacked, obviously. You know, I can make the steps to become more like him, but recognizing I'm never going to be like him, I guess. I mean, perfect is... That more comes... You know, that's a more religious idea. That's a Christian idea right there. Realizing that you'll never be perfect, you'll never be like God, but taking the steps to become more like God is a very Christian idea. And it's a very satisfying thing. Like, measure by growth. Don't measure by perfection. Actually, Hormozy wrote, "The fear of not being perfect is killing you faster than your imperfections." That's a bigger thing on procrastination. That's the word. Yeah. But that applies to the same sort of thing. Like, you want to strive to be the type of person that you want to be. That's what you need to do. But you also need to recognize that you're not going to be not even the best, because you could end up being the best, the 100% version of it. You are not going to reach 100%. You can work towards that, but the goalpost kind of moves because you can always be better. There's a time for peace, but there's also a time for violence. I said that before. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that comes... I was talking about that in work-life balance, but, that also, goes for everything. If you're in a relationship and there's an issue, that's probably a time for violence. Go to work. It's not... And violence is, not in the literal... Especially in the situation when I'm talking about relationships. This sounds really bad. Violence as in time to go to work, That argument is worth it. Like, if you're in a relationship, sometimes there's a time for peace, but if one person has an issue, it's time for violence. It's time to go to war. It's time to talk about it. Don't back down and just give up because you want there to be peace. Like, resentment grows where problems and things you're annoyed about are not resolved. Resentment grows. Do stuff. Do stuff. Do what you want to do. Do what you know you need to do. Charity said in our last interview, sprint in the direction you're going and do not look to the side. One day you will notice there is someone beside you running in that same direction. And that's... She was talking about it when it comes to a partner. But that can happen with friends as well. Where, if you don't think you have any friends, if you're lonely, if you don't have any friends, and you're super lonely, sprint in the direction that you're going. Don't look to the side. One day you'll realize that there's someone next to you that's going along the path with you, and you're like, wow, this is awesome. Don't get caught up in people that don't have your best interests in mind. They don't care about you. They don't care about what you care about. And those aren't bad people. Don't get me wrong. These aren't bad people. But some people just have different goals in life, different dreams. And you really want to align yourself with the people who have the same dreams as you. Because either you're going to learn from each other. If they're behind you, you can teach them what you've learned along the way and build them up to you. And then you guys can work together. If they're way ahead of you, they might look back and be like, wow, I remember where I was when I was that age or at that level and whatever you're doing, and maybe they can help you and give you advice on how to become better at whatever you're doing. And I'd say the last thing is celebrate the small victories. I struggle with this one for sure. For sure. Podcast hits, I don't know, 100 views, let's say. I gotta realize, like, when I was first starting this, if I got 100 views, I would have been ecstatic. I would have been so happy, so proud. Subscriber counts, especially, like, I don't know where I'm at right now, three something, 320 or something. I mean, 320 people that are willing to, subscribe to me. I know it's not that big of a commitment, which in mentioning that, if you're still listening, please subscribe. Most of you are not. It's a crazy number, like all YouTubers talk about. It's like 80% or something. Subscribe and like it. Push it to more people. Celebrate the small victories. You know what? If you subscribe, I will celebrate the small victory of you, one person subscribing, each and every one of you. But I guess that's a good way to end. Like, life is stressful. Life is not easy by any means. Life is lonely a lot of the times, but not all the time. There's ways you can make it a little bit easier, a little bit lighter. And I think I went over some of those today. Catch you guys on the flip side next week. I'll be enjoying my time in Austin when next week's come out. Love you all. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I will leave you today with some wise words from Alex Hormozy. People are attracted to authenticity, but it's hard to define for me. Here's my best attempt. True alignment of what you think, what you say, and what you do. The hard part is realizing our thoughts are messed up, and we have to fix those instead of faking the next two. Thank you.